Hi, my name is Aaron and this is my show, Reeducation, and today I'm going to touch on a subject that I think some of my subscribers might not be 100% familiar with, and that is known as manufacturing consent. Now, manufacturing consent is an idea that was created by Noam Chomsky, and the idea is basically that in a democratically elected society, you can't have a dictator demand things from the people. The people have to basically vote on policy. They have to vote on things that they want to have happen in their country. So, for a dictator or for a ruler or a leader to be able to get legislation passed that they would want, that might not necessarily be in the best interest of the majority, they have to manufacture the consent of the people to vote for that thing. How would they do this? Well, it's through something known as the propaganda model. So the way that the propaganda model works is you imagine your news being put through a machine of sorts that filters your news through 5 different filters that inevitably, at the end, results in a propagandized version of the actual news. Now, the first filter is ownership. And it's obvious. The mass media corporations are just that. They are massive conglomerate media corporations that own the majority, if not the entirety, of the news media. Within, I think, 6 or 8 different organizations. They are the 1%. They are the big business. So the first filter that the news goes through is through a lens that makes sure that they themselves don't look bad. Now, of course, the next filter is advertising. The majority of media corporations need to make their money through advertising, so that news, again, has to be gone through a filter to make sure that none of the news is offensive to any of the advertisers, and that it's able to be advertised on. So now we've gone through a product of raw news. We've gone through the first filter, which was the organization bias itself, and now the second filter, which is advertising, which is filtering that commodity down even smaller. Now, of course, the third filter is the source. The source that they get the news from is inevitably going to be very important, and they are usually people in positions of power. So you don't want to ruin your ability to have access to that source. So now that news has to go through yet another filter. A filter that makes sure that you don't alienate your source, that you don't make that source look bad. Now you've reduced your product even further. The fourth filter is Flack. Basically catching shit from your bosses if you say anything that goes against the other 3 filters. If you are a news commentator and you, I don't know, say that war is a bad thing, there's a good chance you're going to not have a job anymore. Or at very least, you're going to find a new job at RT America. Funny how that seems to happen, that as soon as you come out against war, or you happen to support somebody crazy like a socialist, all of a sudden you catch that flack, you catch that shit, and you're no longer allowed on TV. And the fifth and final filter is anti-communism and fear. And it's easy to understand why. Communism is an incredible, dangerous threat to capitalism. Capitalists shake in their booties the second they hear the word socialism. It happens with virtually every story that's produced in the news. There has to be a bad guy. There has to be a villain. It's not compelling news if there isn't a villain, if there isn't a Muslim to hate, or a black person to hate, or somebody of another race, culture, ethnicity, or political ideology that we have to hate. This is the method that they use to force us to make decisions that are not within our best interest. And it's not just the way I look at it. It's the way Noam Chomsky looks at it too. Anyway, that's my show. My name is Aaron. This is my show, Reeducation. Thanks for watching.